Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepard. This is the 2nd of July 2012, and we've got a bunch of pictures from Bell, Arkansas. Okay, that is construction or destruction. It's kind of hard to tell going on at Tanglewood Branch, which is a stream running from left to right there. That to your left is Center Street. And that stream actually comes from Dixon Street area and brings water from much of downtown Fayetteville. And that's looking toward Center Street. And what they're doing is trying to repair the damage done by flooding. Was that just a year ago? Anyway, it's been that way a while. And I was just astounded to see this big machine, trackhoe, those are called, and it's actually across the creek, and up there at the top of the picture you're seeing the trail where the thing eroded off, caved off, and they've taken all the vegetation off along the riparian zone there, and they're removing soil, and you can see a dump truck in this series that he's putting this stuff on. So this guy's actually just appears to be playing right now, scraping it up, and I can't guess what it's going to look like. But if this drought should end suddenly, this would really erode a lot. Now there's the little dam they made so that big machine could get across the creek there and do its work on that side. And we hope, I'd like to be there when they bring it out and see if they can still get it out of there. I guess we saw them just a block away from there when the duck pond got washed out, and trichoes and things got stuck in that mud up there. But anyhow, you can see work that was done in the past there. All that fancy rock work and concrete work and so forth, and it just all got sort of messed up in the flooding. So I shot a lot of pictures of this from a lot of angles. Wish I could show them all to you. You can see them all probably on Flickr in a few days. And there's the, well, too much of the same thing. I also made pictures of several other sites today. One of them was the last remaining tree at the National Cemetery, the corner by the National Cemetery where the apartments are being built. And in the last few days, I've encountered different things parked under the tree, under its strip line, on top of its roots. And if you go by there yourself, you can see that that tree is going to be just like the royal oak at the Aspen Ridge site 7 years ago that died immediately after they removed all the trees around it and named the street Royal Oak, even put up signs saying Royal Oak, and then let the royal oak die. And it was inevitable. You know, you pave over the roots, you crush the roots, and you replace the good soil with more hard packed soil, and a tree just can't survive it. So I'm not sure we should be running out of this category of photos and showing one at least of that big tree. So maybe not. You can see the house across there. And well, this is a disaster. And I'm just not sure whether it's going to be made any better by this work. I sure hope so, but it's an ambitious project, and if it gets done so that it survives the next big flood, then it will be a real coup for the people who designed it and the guys who are doing it. And I'd say doing it at considerable personal physical danger. For some reason that could cave off of there, and that machine could overturn if they take a bad turn with it. There's the dump truck, and they're loading it, and you can see that's bright, beautiful soil they're digging out of that stream bank. Okay, here's the big tree at the National Cemetery, which is to your left and behind me, and you can see there's one pickup parked there, and sometimes big machines are parked there. The photos on this July 2nd show, recorded show, were made mostly on the 30th of June, Saturday, 2012. Okay, that's an ironweed with a beautiful, tiny skipper moth. That's Verbena stricta. It's one of the wild vervain plants in Arkansas. And that's a particularly good example in a field that it's pretty dry and not a whole lot of different species blooming out there right now. It's a wonderful prairie area, however. This is at Wilson Park. That's Joanna Pollock. She was talking about the beauties of nature with a group of people from Omni 350 or 360 or whatever we call that number. It relates to the global warming issue. Well, there's Mayor Lionel Jordan and talking with a lady named Rebecca, I believe, and there's a member of the Smith family sitting right behind there. Okay, this is a tiny, well, if you see at the right lower corner, there's a little tail. This is a eastern-tailed blue butterfly. I just put my finger on him. He was in a tub of water and needed to be rescued. He was already in bad shape. That's the former chancellor of the University of Arkansas down on the square. There are some wonderful members of organizations such as Omni and Sierra Club and Audubon, and just real great environmentally friendly residents of Fayetteville, Arkansas. Well, let's see, that's one of the men who serves as dog catcher or animal control officer. That's what he's called these days, and he's always on the square. Some weekends, I say, maybe not always. That's Zan Jarvis with Mayor Jordan, and she has been a journalist. She used to write for the Gazette and the Arkansas Democrat before that, and that's a Minton couple, and they're talking to one of our local police officers, and there's a young lady who came up from Little Rock for the Pride Parade, I believe, and also she's active in many environmental matters and political matters, and so she's talking to Mr. Smith, who works at the Walton Arts Center, and it's one of the people who gets the good shows to come in. This is down in front of the Walton Arts Center where the Pride Parade that left the square ended up down Dixon Street into the parking lot, and you can see some of the many amazing costumes and the decorations that people had brought to speak up for equality for all people. That's the Bentonville High School group of people that work for equality, and I can't remember the exact name. That's Northwest Arkansas Center for Equality. And so human rights, civil rights, these things are very important, and if anybody is denied his rights, then everybody is. And that's Mayor Lionel Jordan after he had read his proclamation of Fayetteville, Arkansas's 2012 day celebrating diversity and equal rights. There's Nancy Allen down on the square. She used to be a member of Fayetteville City Council, and before that a member of the Planning Commission, Council of Neighborhoods. Also, there's a young lady who teaches at the Spring International School at the University of Arkansas out in front of the Ozark Natural Food Store, where Omni Center had a booth. And there's Michelle from the Omni Center and Gladys in the background. And they're selling things that were baked and made from berries that the youngsters helped to pick and prepare and actually cook this summer in the summer camp for young people from all parts of the area. Till next time, this is Albert Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean the air pure and the woods green. See ya.